My mom pays all the bills, but does that give her the right to throw it in my face all the time? I never thought I'd be airing out my family drama on the internet, but I'm at my wit's end. Maybe putting this out there will help me understand if I'm being too sensitive or if I'm actually trapped in something toxic. Does anyone else deal with this? Or am I just being ungrateful? I guess I should start with some context. It's been just me and my mom for as long as I can remember. My dad walked out when I was too young to understand what was happening. I don't even remember his face, he's just this vague concept of a person I know existed but have no connection to. So it's been just me and her, the dynamic duo she used to call us. She was always the strong one, the one who made sure we had food on the table, the bills were paid, and a roof over our heads. To a kid, that seems like the ultimate hero, right? But looking back, I wonder if that strength came with a price I didn't see until I was old enough to question it. You see, my mom has always been the one in control, financially, emotionally, and practically. She's always had a good job, making more than enough to comfortably support us both. And for years, I thought that was amazing. She worked part-time but was paid well, only doing the morning shift a few days a week, which left her plenty of free time. Yet, somehow, despite that, she was always too exhausted to help out around the house. At first, I didn't think too much of it. I was a kid, and kids don't question things like that. If mom says she's tired, then she's tired. But the older I got, the more I noticed how often she'd complain about her exhaustion. How often she'd constantly remind me, that she was the one paying for everything. And the worst part? She started using that as a way to control every aspect of our relationship. Whenever we had even the smallest argument, she'd remind me, I pay the bills. I do everything. You don't get to complain. At first, it was just irritating. Annoying, even. I'd roll my eyes when she'd say it, but then I'd let it go. After all, she was right, she did pay for everything. But over time, it started to feel like more than just an offhand comment. It became her way of reminding me that, no matter what I did, she had the upper hand. That, at the end of the day, she was in charge. And that's when I started feeling trapped. I've tried talking to her about it more times than I can count. Every time we have one of those fights where she brings up money, I try to explain how it makes me feel. I tell her that I appreciate everything she does, but I wish she wouldn't use it against me every time we disagree. But guess what her response is? Every single time. You'll understand when you're older. Or, if she's feeling especially condescending, she'll say, one day, when you have to pay your own bills, you'll get it. It's like she refuses to even hear me. As if my feelings don't matter because I don't hold the same financial power that she does. But here's the thing, I do contribute. I have a job. It's not the highest paying job in the world, but I'm doing my best. I pay for my own things, clothes, phone bill, some groceries. I even help out when I can, but it never seems to be enough. No matter what I do, it's always, I pay the rent, I pay the utilities, I make sure we have everything we need. It's like I can never win. And the worst part? She acts like she's killing herself to keep everything afloat, but she isn't. She works a few days a week, part-time, and makes more than enough to support us both without breaking a sweat. She's not working double shifts or stressing about how to make ends meet. She has time, so much time. Time that she spends lounging around, watching TV, or hanging out with friends. But when it comes to doing anything around the house, suddenly, she's too tired. That's where I come in. I'm the one who cleans, cooks, and takes care of the house. If I don't do it, it doesn't get done. And when I bring that up, when I try to point out that I'm already pulling my weight, she laughs. Literally. She'll laugh in my face and say something like, "Oh, please. You don't know the half of it." As if my efforts don't count because I'm not the one paying for the roof over our heads. It's this endless cycle of guilt and resentment. Every time I think about confronting her, I hesitate. Because I know how the conversation will go. She'll remind me of how hard she works, how much she's sacrificed, and how I should be grateful that I don't have to worry about money. And then she'll end it with the line that haunts me, "You wouldn't last a week on your own." And honestly, sometimes I believe her. There's this voice in the back of my head that says, what if she's right? What if I move out and I do fail? What if I can't handle the bills, the rent, the pressure of adult life on my own? And then I'll be back here, asking for her help, proving her right. That's what terrifies me the most, the idea that she might actually be right about me. And she knows it. She knows I'm stuck. I've tried looking at apartments, even thought about getting roommates, but the rent prices are insane. Every time I mention moving out, she gives me this smug look and says, "Good luck with that." It's like she's daring me to try, knowing full well that I can't afford to leave yet. But it gets worse. Because it's not just about the money. It's about how she uses it to control every other aspect of my life. She's always reminding me that because she's the one paying, she gets to make the rules. And those rules? They're suffocating. She has an opinion on everything I do, who I hang out with, what job I take, even how I spend my free time. Just last week, I mentioned wanting to take a weekend off work to visit a friend in another city. Her response? "You think you deserve a vacation? When I'm the one paying for everything? Maybe you should focus on saving money instead of wasting time with your friends." It's like nothing I do is ever good enough. It wasn't always like this. There was a time when my mom and I were close. After my dad left, she was my rock. We were more like best friends than mother and daughter. I could talk to her about anything, and she'd listen. She used to encourage me, tell me that I could do anything I set my mind to. But now it feels like she's doing everything she can to make me feel small, like she wants to keep me dependent on her forever. I've tried so hard to hold on to the good memories, to remind myself that she wasn't always like this. But the more she uses money as a weapon, the harder it gets. I don't know if I can ever go back to seeing her as the supportive, loving mom she used to be. Now, all I see is someone who's using their financial power to keep me under control. And that's the part that hurts the most. I don't want to hate her. I don't want to resent her. But every time she throws money in my face, every time she belittles my efforts, a little bit of that resentment grows. It's like she's chipping away at our relationship, piece by piece, and I don't know how to stop it. I keep thinking, maybe things will get better once I move out. Maybe once I'm out from under her roof, she'll stop using money as a weapon. But what if that doesn't happen? What if she still finds ways to control me, even after I leave? And then there's the other terrifying thought, what if I can't make it on my own? What if I leave, and she's right, I fail, and I have to come crawling back? Has anyone else dealt with something like this? How do you navigate a situation where your parent uses money as a means of control? Is there a way to fix this without completely blowing up the relationship? Or is it just a matter of waiting until I can afford to move out and hoping things get better from there? Enjoyed the story? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss new content. Share your thoughts and ideas in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think and what you'd like to see next. And if you want to keep watching more videos like this one, just click on the next video. See you there.